Hey Taurus, thanks for stopping by. All right, we're going to do a love reading for singles and those of you in relationships. So let's get into it. Okay, guys. So this is singles. This is for those of you in a relationship. Oh, and this is advice. This is the present. This is the future. Okay. So with singles, stability in a relationship is so important to you. It's like the most important thing to you, whatever that means. It could be financially. It could be just like having some sort of support or knowing that the other person understands you. It could just have to do with like being able to rely on someone, whatever that is for you. It is extremely, extremely important. I feel like you're finding, you might be kind of like tired of looking for this, okay? And you might feel like you don't have a lot of, like there's not a lot of options. You might even be questioning if you're just better off to like give up and just be on your own or something. And it's not even really giving up. It's just, you're comfortable on your own. I do see that. Okay. Okay. So you have like a wall. Okay. There's like a wall. And because of that, you're missing what will lead to the Ten of Pentacles. And that is literally all I'm getting. So I can't be any more helpful than that. But, you know, this could, I feel like because I'm not getting like literally anything, there's a lot of scenarios out there, or you are already aware of this and maybe you're working on it. Okay. But like, it just could be that one thing that does come up in the readings a lot is like, being particular, like you're so particular that you just shut things down before it even gets anywhere because of something with the other person. Okay. It could be something in the past, you know, that just caused this wall. I mean, it really feels like a wall, you guys. The other thing too is, you know, if you are wondering whether you're better off on your own, that can create a wall, you know, because then you're comparing every time you meet somebody or get to know somebody, you're basically comparing it to be on your, oh, wow, that's funny because I do that. Okay. Yep, I do that. Okay. All right. So moving on. Okay. You might be afraid. There just could be some fear on some level of maybe being vulnerable, maybe, you know, letting someone into your life, there's something about accommodating. It's like you feel like you have to accommodate somebody to be in your life or something like this. I also feel like you know, you think about others. You think about making other people feel comfortable, or there could be something where like maybe there's a bit of drama in your life, okay? And it's almost like it's like you don't want someone else to have to deal with that, or how can you be in a relationship, which is what you want, okay? And like this person would need to be somewhat okay, so for example, this is just an example. If you're like a single parent, like, and there might be like some drama either with your kids or with the ex or whatever. It doesn't feel huge though, but to you it is because you're living it, you know? So like you don't have like the most peaceful environment or life, and it's almost like you're wondering if it's almost like, is it fair for me to be in a relationship if that means that they would have to be like dealing with this on some level, okay? I'm getting like the right person for you. This is like a non-issue. Like it's almost like you're overthinking it, because I'm seeing this. I'm seeing like the ex or the kid. It doesn't have to be that, okay? But whatever this drama is, it's really not. Like it's not as big as you feel like it is, okay? In your world, it's big, okay? But I'm seeing it from someone else's perspective, is what I'm trying to say. And it's just like this non-issue. Like you are way more valuable to them than what you believe this would mean as far as like bringing it into their life, okay? So yeah, I do see you meeting somebody, by the way, for sure. Okay. And this is the person. They're really stable. They might be in finance. I also feel like, you know, the whole drama thing we were just talking about, like they're going to make you see like how it really isn't. It could be that they have had to deal with, I shouldn't say deal, that is wrong, because we all have our stuff, you know. But they have maybe been in previous relationships where there truly was drama. And it's, you know, I'm seeing it from their perspective, and they might have had relationships with really overly dramatic people or something, or people who brought drama into their relationship. And you are not like that, okay? And that is what they're looking for. It's not the other stuff that, you know, they're fine with the package deal, okay? So, I love this person, by the way. So, they're so like, it's just like non-issue, like just non-issue. They're gonna make you feel really good. They might come in really fast, like almost like it's uncomfortable for you because it almost feels like too much, too quick, too, you know. They might express that they're like really into you, and like on your gauge it's like too soon, you know what I mean? Because I feel like they throw you off a little bit in the beginning, but then once you get to know them, like it's good, it's solid. There's an instant level of comfort once you get past this like quickness in the beginning. Love it for you. Okay, so for those of you in relationships, oh God, okay. Oh, honey, yes. All right, so someone's really in their head about something. There could be spying, or there was, and it doesn't have to be like anything major, okay? But like, it could be like questioning, like you're questioning things or something like this. I feel like something is being healed. There's like some sort of renewed faith. I don't know if that's how you feel about yourself or about this relationship, but there is some sort of like renewed faith going on, or belief. Okay. I'm just seeing if there's something else here. I don't know. I think you feel like you're being dramatic or something. Or maybe the other person is being dramatic, or they think you are being dramatic. I'm not saying that. But it might be whatever this issue is, it could be like outside of your typical, like something was triggered, okay? Okay, so let me look at these. For anybody who's new, sometimes I take the cards off the table just to feel them. Okay, there is like a serious need for communication, you guys. I feel like someone's doing this in your ear. Okay, so whatever this is about, you need to communicate. This is like a big thing. This is one of those things that can make or break your relationship, okay? And I realize how scary that sounds, okay? So use your best judgment, because if this actually does scare you, like you don't know what this is about and it's scary when I say that, then the message is not for you, okay? None of my readings or messages in my readings should ever cause fear or confusion or anything like that, okay? If it ever does, then the message is not for you, okay? All right, so moving to the future, I just feel like there's a lot of unknowns, and this is like a big thing, okay? We're taking both. What is this? Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of unknown stuff. Things aren't moving. There's a lack of clarity, or maybe even being clear-headed, okay? So like when I was saying that something isn't typical or whatever, I can't remember what it was. It could be usually you're very clear-minded and you haven't been, or something like this. All right. Okay. So there's a few messages. There's some sort of like unknown There could be fear involved with this. There's a lack of thinking clearly or having clarity. There could be some sort of failure with something. Since we're talking about relationships, it could be the relationship. I mean, you're going to know. You're going to know if this is for you, you guys, okay? There is also growth here because you have the moon card twice. One is upright, one is reversed. It feels like, plus you have the Wheel of Fortune twice here. So it's almost like there's some sort of expansion happening with like unconscious, subconscious. It could be patterns. It could also be like, especially with the subconscious stuff, things are coming like to the forefront, okay? It's also like end of cycles, beginning of new cycles. There's like a lot of stuff going on underneath the surface, okay? But there's also something about like it is coming up to the surface, but you know, sometimes subconscious stuff, it's like it's doing its work in the background, you know what I'm saying? This feels like knowledge of yourself, like new knowledge that has always been there, but you're like figuring it out, or it's like these aha moments almost. Some of you are going to walk away from this relationship. I do not feel like this relationship has been like decades long. It feels like maybe, honestly, it feels like 1 to 3 years maybe. Not that it has to be, but so some of you are going to walk away. Some of you could walk away because it's like you don't see it going any further. There's something about that. So like if marriage is something that you aspire to in a relationship, this person like has made no effort or has said that they don't want to get married or something like that. I don't know. Or you just don't see that. Because like I said, this is 1 to 3 years. I mean, most people, unless it's been like, 5, 10, 15 years and they want marriage, like they aren't going to walk away necessarily that soon. But I don't know, maybe. Okay. There might be something that makes you hesitate from leaving the relationship, or this could even be walking away from old emotional stuff, especially with like the moon stuff here, like fears, any emotional garbage. I say garbage because it's stuff that you've held on to like for way too long. Like you're not even having to deal with these issues anymore, but like you've held on to it, it's almost like a spring cleaning of like old thoughts, beliefs, emotions, things like this. Okay. So there could be something where you think like, it's almost like by walking away, you're going to get something less than what you desire. So if this is like walking away from emotional stuff, it's almost like maybe you feel like by letting things go, you're going to feel better, and you do, but maybe you don't feel as good as you had thought you would. There's something about that. Okay, you guys? Okay, so the advice, I'm going to tell you, this is all about, thinking clearly, cutting through the BS, things like this. I really don't even need, because they're showing it to me. Yep, the give and take is coming out, like, with this. And also, give and take in relationships, it also means like not only do you make that person feel comfortable and secure, but they make you feel that way. Okay. This one. And this thing when I was talking about spying and even questioning, that could be referencing this, because it's like that sort of thing. Okay. This is all about being clear about not only what your expectations are, but the other person's, okay, regardless if it's a relationship or single. Also flexibility, right? But also knowing where you want something to go, and like structures in the relationship. So if you're single, how do you want your relationship, like what do you want it to look like, right? Like have an idea of what you want it to look like, but be flexible, because this isn't just your relationship. You're in the relationship with somebody else, right? And it's not going to be an issue for you, okay, Taurus? And then same with the relationship stuff, you know. However, I feel like a lot of this is you, like internally, like this growth thing and shedding and stuff. Like, even though the death card didn't come out, like I keep seeing the death card over here. In this, it's almost like being able to like go with the flow, which could have to do with like your emotions or something like that, or you know, wherever you see yourself, like if you really want more security in your life, whatever that is, okay, whether it's finding a job where you make more money or working your way up, you know, in a company or something like that, or titles, or in a relationship, you know, if it's something to do with having a relationship that's more stable in some way, because I'm getting structure down here, okay, which means it has something to do with chaos, all right. And for the singles, when I was talking about like the drama or whatever in your life, like it's really not as big as it feels, you know, for you because you're living it, right? There's something about structure that's really important to you, and this chaos, whatever it is, drama, it throws it off, okay? So the advice is to try to be a little more flexible where it doesn't affect you so much, okay? And I know it's difficult, all right? I like structure. Chaos totally throws me off. It makes me all feel crazy and everything else. So it's baby steps, okay? All right, guys. Well, listen, I hope this helps someone, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.